Welcome to today's Catholic Daily Readings from Christus Dominus Bread of Life. A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Colossians. For this reason, we also, from the day when we first heard it, have not ceased praying for you and requesting that you be filled with the knowledge of his will, in all wisdom and spiritual understanding, so that you may walk in a manner worthy of God, being pleasing in all things, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of God, being strengthened in all virtue, according to the power of his glory. With all patience and long-suffering, with joy, giving thanks to God the Father, who has made us worthy to have a share in the portion of the saints in the light. For he has rescued us from the power of darkness, and he has transferred us into the kingdom of the Son of his love, in whom we have redemption through his blood, the remission of sins.
The house of Israel, in the sight of the nations, he revealed his justice. The Lord has made known his salvation.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Now it happened that, when the crowds pressed toward him so that they might hear the word of God, he was standing beside the lake of Gennesaret, and he saw two boats standing beside the lake. But the fishermen had climbed down, and they were washing their nets. And so, climbing into one of the boats, which was Simon, he asked him to draw back a little from the land, and sitting down, he taught the crowds from the boat. Then when he had ceased speaking, he said to Simon, "Lead out into the deep and release your nets for a catch." And responding, Simon said to him, "Teacher, though we labored all night, we caught nothing, but on your word I will release the net." And when they had done this, they enclosed such a great multitude of fish that their net was rupturing. And they signaled to their associates who were in the other boat so that they would come and help them. And they came and filled both boats so that they were nearly submerged. But when Simon Peter saw this, he fell down at the knees of Jesus, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." For astonishment had enveloped him and all who were with him at the catch of fish that they had taken, and similarly with James and John, the sons of Zebedee, who were associates of Simon. And Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From now on you will be catching men." And having led their boats to land, they left everything and followed him. Join us for today's reflection. Professional fishermen don't fish all night and catch nothing unless something has gone fundamentally wrong. Peter, James, and John weren't weekend hobbyists trying their luck with hook and line. They ran commercial fishing operations that fed families and employed crews. When experienced fishermen work through optimal nighttime hours and return empty-handed, they're not just disappointed, they're facing financial catastrophe. Luke's account of the miraculous catch begins with this economic desperation. The fishermen have already endured the humiliation of cleaning their nets while crowds watch from the shore, a public declaration that their expertise has failed them. Then this carpenter from Nazareth suggests they try again in broad daylight, when any fisherman knows the conditions are all wrong. Peter's response reveals everything about where he stands emotionally. "Master, we have worked hard all night and have caught nothing, but at your word I will lower the nets." This isn't enthusiastic faith. This is the resigned compliance of someone who has nothing left to lose. When your professional competence has already been publicly demolished, taking advice from a landlubber seems like just another humiliation in a series of failures. The miraculous haul that follows doesn't just restore their fortunes, it shatters their understanding of how the world works. Fish don't normally appear in daylight where none existed at night. Nets don't usually strain to the breaking point after hours of emptiness. The natural order they've spent their lives learning to navigate has suddenly become unreliable. Peter's reaction cuts to the spiritual heart of the matter. "Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." This isn't false modesty or religious protocol. This is the response of someone who has just discovered that the person standing in his boat operates according to completely different rules than anything he's ever encountered. When divine power intrudes into ordinary life, the first impulse isn't gratitude, it's terror. Paul's prayer for the Colossians captures what Peter couldn't have articulated in that moment. He asks that they be filled with knowledge of God's will in all spiritual wisdom and understanding, that they might walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, bearing fruit in every good work. But this transformation requires first recognizing that human wisdom and understanding have fundamental limitations. Peter's expertise meant nothing when Jesus spoke fish into existence where none had been. James and John's family fishing business couldn't have prepared them for nets so full they needed help from other boats. Everything they'd built their identity around, skill, experience, professional reputation, became irrelevant in the presence of someone who could command natural forces. This is why the call to follow me represents such a radical disruption. Jesus isn't asking them to add religious activity to their existing lives. He's demonstrating that their existing lives are built on assumptions about reality that are fundamentally incomplete. The same God who could fill empty nets could reshape empty hearts, but only if they're willing to abandon the illusion that they understand how things actually work. The miraculous catch serves as both gift and warning. It shows divine power operating in their familiar world of boats and nets and fishing grounds. But it also reveals that this power doesn't exist to make their old lives more successful. It exists to call them into completely different lives, where their professional skills become secondary to their willingness to follow wherever divine wisdom leads. Peter's declaration of sinfulness recognizes this spiritual reality. He's not confessing specific moral failures, but acknowledging the deeper problem of trying to live as if human capability and divine power operate in separate spheres. The miraculous catch proves that God's agenda intersects with ordinary work, ordinary problems, ordinary failures in ways that expose the inadequacy of purely human solutions. The fish represent more than material provision. They symbolize the abundance that becomes available when people stop insisting that life conform to their professional expertise and start remaining open to interventions that exceed their natural capabilities. But accepting this abundance requires abandoning the identity that comes from being competent, successful, in control of your circumstances. Luke's careful attention to the business details, the nets, the boats, the partnerships between fishing crews, emphasizes that following Jesus isn't about escaping material reality, but about discovering that material reality is far more malleable than most people imagine. Divine power doesn't lift people out of ordinary life, but reveals the extraordinary possibilities hidden within ordinary circumstances. The call to become fishers of men transforms their professional identity rather than discarding it. They'll still be in the business of catching something, but now their success will depend entirely on divine power rather than human technique. They'll still work with nets and boats and partnerships, but now these familiar tools will serve purposes they never could have conceived. Peter's immediate response to leave everything and follow Jesus makes sense only in light of what he just witnessed. When you've seen someone command natural forces with a word, continuing to pretend that your fishing expertise is what really matters becomes impossible. The business that had defined their lives becomes the metaphor for a calling that will redefine everything they thought they knew about themselves and the world around them.